Alright, hello, my name is Stephen Harris, aka Ryan Fang on the YouTube channel. Um, Basically, right now this is a video about the different genres of metal and how they, sound and everything, if you're just starting into metal, starting liking it, shit like that. We could start off with some classical metal. Basically where metal started. The main bands I knew that were classical metal was Slayer, Venom, Black Sabbath, and I can't really remember any oldies metal bands. I know Alice Cooper, whatever band he was in. But those are basically just the classical ones. The classical ones you will find really heavy. Black Sabbath, I didn't think they were that heavy, but Venom and Slayer were big, heavy bands. And Venom apparently actually scared the shit out of a lot of parents because they were on stage with everyone. There was pentagrams, upside down crosses, dark album artwork. But I read up that they aren't really real Satanists. They're just doing it's like movie art. It's just to scare people, to bring them in, to being. It's like a curiosity thing. You think, oh, this looks kind of creepy, so might as well check it out and see if I like it. And some people did, some people didn't. I can tell a lot of parents back then did not like that at all. Slayer did the exact same thing. Can't really remember, but I think I read somewhere that vocalist for Slayer is a Christian, but they use the same thing as album artwork for pentagrams and everything to get some sales. Then you can lead on to heavy metal, Killswitch Engage. It's kind of hard to think heavy metal because there's a lot of subgenres, and I can't really think of other bands. Well, I'll just name off some bands that, because some bands have two different types. Lamb of God's heavy metal. Killswitch Engage is heavy metal. Underoath is heavy metal. And etc. Killswitch Engage is an amazing band. And what's really unique of them that a lot of people think is they have a black singer. And he's a good melodic singer. He's not just one of those singers, heavy guttural vocals or anything. He does the real clean vocals, good harmonic vocals. Of course, black man, soul music. It's kind of a mix in there. Lamb of God, Randy Blythe, amazing screamer. They kind of had a thrashier sound of them in the Wrath album. Mainly in the song I thought was Set to Fail. Then you could lead on to metalcore, kind of Devil Wears Prada, We Came as Roman, Attack Attack, Asking Alexandria. Asking Alexandria is kind of electronic metal, a little bit in there because they have a little electronica music in there, dubstep songs. And they mainly did dubsteppy songs and techno electronical stuff in their EP after Stand Up and Scream, Life Gone Wild. And then Stand Up and Scream kind of had that little electronica in there. It was mainly in the song, because I don't really tell the difference between dubstep, trance, and electronica, so I'm just gonna call it electronic music. Mainly I think this is a dubstep song. I can pretty much tell. Is there a hiatus song where it goes in that, and then it goes into think it's I used to have a best friend, and then he gave me an STD. Um, the Devil Wears Prada is a really heavy band. Their newest EP, Zombie EP, was really guttural vocals. Their guitarist vocals was amazing in that album. I think the album's called Dear Love, a Miss or something Accord or whatever. I can't really remember. That was a really heavy album. Dogs and Grow Beards all over, everything like that. Swords, Dragons, and Diet Coke. Attack Attack. I'm really loving the song Smokeahontas. They're more of a electronica metalcore too. And yeah. Then I only know really one alternative metal band, and that is Breaking Benjamin. I have been a fan of them since I think it was in the 3rd grade, I'm guessing. But yeah, I've been listening to metal since 2nd grade. The earliest I can remember listening to Haste the Day when they first came out with their really heavy stuff, and I just thought that was cool. Lamb of God can be counted as a American groove metal, which one of my friends at school thought that was kind of dumb name for them when they're American groove metal. He says, "What's groove metal? It sounds stupid." I'm like, "You like Lamb of God?" "Yeah, they're American groove metal." That's weird. Okay, that's a weird subgenre. I'm like, I don't really care. Good music's good music. Even black metal. Yeah, I like some black metal. Some people call me a Satanist because I like black metal. I'm like, well, I'm agnostic. I have a faith in God. I don't truly believe in the Bible or scriptures, but I have the belief in Jesus and God, and I listen to black metal. There's nothing wrong with it. Music doesn't determine your religion. Now, if you're Mormon, I can understand why you don't like it, like LDS people, the stupid little kids. Not really stupid, just some of them can just get out of hand sometimes. I can understand if you're coming from a really, really religious family, I can understand why they wouldn't want you to listen to that stuff, because of the, back then, where they called it the Devil's Note when you would play heavy metal music, and I wasn't really around because that's basically music that you call up to summon the Eternal Lord himself. Well, not really internal, like, I don't know what to say, just like demonic Lord Satan. But yeah, black metal I pretty much really only like Dimmu Borgir, symphonic black metal. I also like Horde, which is Christian black metal, which is unblack metal. Yes, it does exist. There's also Christian metal, and there's a lot of ranging from there. You can find any like subgenre to be Christian music. You can find Christian deathcore, metalcore, thrash, anything. Christian deathcore being like Impending Doom, whatchamacallit, As They Sleep. Becoming the Archetype is an amazing one. They've got a new album out. Christian metalcore, just like The Devil Wears Prada. And yeah, and then there's also popcore, which is like a mixture between hardcore, pop, and metalcore, like Pierce the Veil, and A Day to Remember. Those bands are really good. I enjoy listening to Pierce the Veil and The Devil Wears Prada. And for deathcore, there's a lot of bands out there I listen to. I'll just name a couple, like Whitechapel, Carnifex, Chelsea Grin. Back then when Lamb of God was Burn the Priest. Suicide Silence. What do you call them? Bring Me the Horizon. Now, a lot of people say Bring Me the Horizon isn't deathcore anymore. They're still deathcore. Ollie Sykes just decided to break his voice because he decided to scream wrong, smoke cigarettes, and shit like that. Fuck up his voice. but back then they were really heavy. They were really good. Their newer albums aren't that great, but they sound good to me. I like that band. Mainly only like their Suicide Season album, and only one song from Count Your Blessings. That's basically just it. So if you're starting to like get into metal, I suggest like listening to some Lamb of God, The Devil Wears Prada, just anything. Impending Doom. I mean, come on, I go from as like light as I go from as light as basically Pierce the Veil, and I only really like go up to deathcore, brutal death metal, probably brutal death metal, Cannibal Corpse. I love Cannibal Corpse, they're amazing. And there's only like, yes, I'm gonna sound like a really weird person for saying this, but there's only like 2 grindcore bands that have like one good song by each of them. I pretty much only like Waking the Cadaver and Torso Fuck, which are they're porno grindcore bands, but I don't know, just the heavy brutalness just somehow just makes me like the music, like not really the vocals, but I mean they are decent. It shows how crazy they are if they do exhales, but if they do inhales, then they're pretty much not really making real music. I mean, whenever you ever heard of like a real vocalist or singer inhale to get their voice? So basically that's just it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you want to. You don't really have to, it'd just be pretty much appreciated. This is just a vlogging channel, so I'm not going to do anything like special for it. But anyway, bye guys.